Okay, so in this video I'm going to continue along from what I was doing last time, which is multiplication by using vertical form. So what I'm going to do here is do the same thing but for slightly larger numbers. So I'm just going to start by doing a quick recap of what I did last time. So say I wanted to do 24 times 3. What I would do is I would take my multiplication grid like so, and I would write in my larger number here, 24 at the top, and my 3 down here. So I'd write 24 here and 3 here. And then what I'd do is do 3 times 4, which would be 12. I'd write the 2 down here, carry the 1 here. Then I'd do 3 times 2, which would be 6. And I would add this 1, which I'd carry to make 7, and I'd write here. And my answer there would be 72. So after that, what I did was I show how you can do similar thing, but say do 24 times 30. Now, obviously, this is going to be related quite strongly to the previous answer. So you should know that it's just going to be 10 times bigger. So the answer should be 720. But what I'm going to do is follow a similar form. So I'd write here 24, and then I would write down here 30. Now, the process is going to be basically the same. What I did here was do 3 times 4, which was 12. And I wrote the 2 here and carried the 1, and then I did 3 times 2, which was 6, carried the 1 and wrote 7 here. So I'm going to do the same idea. So I'm going to do the carrying the same, just instead of writing 3 times 4 and writing it here, because it's 30 times 4, I'm going to write it here. So instead of writing it in the units, I'm going to write it in the tens. So it's going to take the same thing, but shift it 1 further over. So I'm going to start by putting a 0 here, and then I'm going to do 3 times 4, which is 12. So I'm still going to put my 2 down here and carry 1 here. Then I'm going to do 3 times 2 is 6, add this 1, which is 7, and then I'm going to put it in the column here. So the answer is very closely related to this one. Just instead of doing 24 times 3, because I'm doing 24 times 30, I'm just going to start by putting a 0 here and then shift over my answer. So I still do 3 times 4 is 12, but put the 2 here instead of here, carry the 1 in the same place, 3 times 2 is 6, add the 1, 7, and just put it in the hundreds column. So when I do 24 times 3, it's 72. When I do 24 times 30, it's 720. So that's the principle here. Now, what I'm going to do next is put the two together and then do something by doing like 22 times 33. So I would write those two things down and then I would add them together. So let me show you how that would work. So I'm going to use my larger grid this time. So if I want to do now 24 times 33. Now we should know that it's going to be the same as this answer and this answer added together. So it's going to be the 720 plus the 72. So the answer should be 792. I'm going to show how we would get that by using our larger grid here. So what I'm trying to do is 24 times 33. So I'm going to write up here 24, and then I'm going to write here 33. So I'm going to do 24 times 33. So I'm going to start by doing 3 times 4, which is 12. So put 2 here and carry the 1. Then I'm going to do 3 times 2, which is 6, and add this 1, which will give me 7. So that will be 72, exactly the same as I had last time. I've just written it in the top here. Now when I come to do the 30 times 24, I'm going to ignore that and just do this 30. It's in the tens column times 24. So I'm going to start like I did last time by putting a 0 here. Because this is in the tens column, there's going to be known units. So start by doing units. I can delete my 1 there. I don't want that. So just check again. So then I'm going to do 3 times 4, which is 12. So I put 2 here. And again, I'm going to carry 1 here. And then I'm going to do 3 times 2, which is 6, and then add this 1, which will be 7. So I have 7 in the hundreds column. So what I've got here on this line, I've basically got 3 times 24, and on this line, I've got 30 times 24. Then to get the total answer, I add these two numbers together using this grid here. So 2 plus 0 will be 2, and then 7 plus 2 will give me 9 here. And then I've got 7, but nothing there, so this will just be 7. So my answer should be 792, which is what I said it would be here, but this is just showing how you would use the larger grid to get it. So I'm going to do another example so we can get the idea. So get another big grid. Let's move that one over there. Okay, and then this time, let's say I'm going to do 43 times by 26. So I would write 43 at the top here, and then 26 down the bottom here. So I'd start by doing 6 times 3, which is 18. I'd write 8 here, carry 1. Then I would do 6 times 4, which is 24, and add my 1 to make 25. Put 5 here. I would need to carry 1 if there was anything else here, but there's no other numbers here, so I can just directly put my 2 here to make 258. So this 258 is 43 times 6. What I next want to do is I'm going to do 20 times 43. So because this is 20, I'm going to start by putting a 0 here in this column. And then I'm going to do 2 times 3, which gives me 6. And 2 times 4, which gives me 8. There's nothing to carry here. Probably should have deleted that first. So 2 times 4 gives me 8 here. So what I've got on this line here is basically 20 times 43, which is 860. Then to get my total answer of 43 times 26, I'm going to add this 258 and this 860 together and put those down in here. So 8 plus 0 gives me 8. 5 plus 6 gives me 11, so 1 and then carry 1 here. And then 8 plus 2 is 10, and then this one is 11. So I'm just going to write those two in the same column there. So that's going to give me 1,118. Okay, that's how I would multiply two two-digit numbers together using this larger sum grid here. So I'll do one more example. Okay, so let's say I want to do 14 multiplied by 17. So I write 14 at the top here, 17 down here. I start doing 7 times 4, which is 28, put 8 here, carry 2. Then I do 7 times 1, which is 7, and add this 2 to make 9, which goes here. So on this line, what I've got is 14 times 7, which is 98. I can delete that too, so I'm finished carrying. So then on this line, I'm going to do 10 times 14. So because it's 10 times 14, I start by putting a 0 in the tens in the units column. And I do 1 times 4 here, which is 4. And I do 1 times 1 here, which is 1. So what I've got on this line is effectively 14 times 10, which is 140. And to get my total answer, I add the 98 and the 140 together. So I can do here 8 plus 0, which is 8. We can do 9 plus 4, which is 13. And carry 1 up here. And then this one and this one together would make 2. So my answer is going to be 238. All right, so that is multiplying two two-digit numbers together with the larger sum grid. I could also do it, I could extend this method and do it with 3-digit numbers and a 2-digit number. I would just end up with a larger column. So I can show you that if I just do it without using the sum grid this time. Just do it freehand. So say I want to do 137 multiplied by 261. So I'd start by writing those two numbers out. 137 times 261. Then on the first line, I'm going to do 1 times 137. So 1 times 7 gives me 7. 1 times 3 gives me 3. 1 times 1 gives me 1. On the next line, I'm going to do basically 60 times 137. So I'm going to start by putting a 0 here. And do 6 times 7, which is 42. Carry 4. Then I'm going to do 6 times 3, which is 18, plus this 4 is 22. Carry the 2. Then I'm going to do 6 times 1, which is 6, and plus that 2, which gives me 8. Then, because I've got more digits, I'm going to need to do another line. So I'm going to rub out that carrying there. And then I'm going to do 200. So because it's 200, I'm going to have nothing in the units, nothing in the tens either, and I'm going to start in the hundreds. So I'm going to do 2 times 7, which is 14. Carry 1. 2 times 3, which is 6, and add this 1 gives me 7. And then 2 times 1 here gives me 2. Then I add all that together. So 7, 0, and 0 gives me 7. 3 and 2 gives me 5. 1, 2 and 4 gives me 7. 8 and 7 gives me 15. Carry 1, and then the 1 I've just carried and the 2 there gives me 3. So my answer is going to be 35,757. And that's how I can use the same method, just with a larger number. You can expand that out to do as many as you need. You just do more columns here and add it all together.